Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about clavicle. Clavicle is a long bone and it is the only bone that lies horizontally in the body. It supports the shoulder so that the arm can swing clearly away from the trunk. The clavicle also transmits the weight of the limb to the sternum. The bone has a cylindrical part called as the shaft and medial end and lateral end. So first we will talk about the shaft. The shaft is divided into lateral 1/3 and medial 2/3. So first we'll talk about the lateral 1/3. The lateral 1/3 is flattened from above downwards. It has two borders, anterior border and posterior border. The anterior border is concave and the posterior border is convex. And it has two surfaces, superior and inferior surface. The superior surface is subcutaneous throughout and the inferior surface presents an elevation called as the conoid tubercle and a ridge known as a trapezoid ridge. Now about the medial 2/3. The medial 2/3 is round and it has four surfaces. Anterior surface which is convex forwards and posterior surface which is concave and which is smooth. Superior surface which is rough and inferior surface which has a rough oval impression medially, and it also has a groove called as a subclavian groove, and at the lateral end of this groove there is a foramen called as a nutrient foramen. Now let's talk about the ends. This is the lateral end, this is the medial end. First about the lateral end. The lateral end is also known as the acromial end. It is flattened from above downwards and it bears a facet which articulates with the acromion of the scapula to form the acromioclavicular joint. Now medial end. Medial end is quadrangular in shape and it articulates with the clavicular notch of the manubrium sterni to form the sternoclavicular joint. So now side determination of the clavicle. So now how do you decide which side the clavicle belongs? So you can decide it through three important features. One is the lateral end, like I said earlier, is flattened and the medial end is quadrangular. And the second feature is the shaft is slightly curved so that it's convex anteriorly in the medial 2/3 and it's concave anteriorly towards the lateral 1/3. So this is one more feature, and the next feature is towards the inferior surface medially there is a groove which is known as the subclavian groove. So these are the features through which we can determine the side of the clavicle. Now looking at the features, we can say that this clavicle belongs to the left side. Now let's look at the attachments. At the lateral end, the margin of the articular surface of the acromioclavicular joint gives attachment to the joint capsule. And at the medial end, the margin of the articular surface for the sternum gives attachment to the fibrous capsule all around it, to the articular disc posterior superiorly, and to the interclavicular ligament superiorly. Now let's look at the muscle attachments. So the red color shows the origin and the blue color shows the insertions of the muscle. So first the lateral 1/3, the anterior border gives origin to the deltoid muscle and the posterior border gives insertion to the trapezius muscle. And towards the medial 2/3, the anterior surface gives origin to pectoralis major muscle and the rough superior surface gives origin to the clavicular head of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and the inferior surface gives insertion to the subclavius muscle. Now let's talk about the ligaments. There are three ligaments that we have to remember here. This is sternum, clavicle medial end, lateral end. This is the acromion process of scapula and the coracoid process of scapula, and this is the rib. So this like we already discussed, the superior surface, medial end of the superior surface, it gives attachment to the interclavicular ligament. and the oval impression inferiorly, it gives attachment to the costoclavicular ligament. This is rib, therefore costoclavicular ligament. And inferiorly at the lateral end, we already discussed there's a conoid, tubercle and trapezoid ridge. It gives attachment to the conoid and the trapezoid parts of the corococlavicular ligament, the coracoid process and the clavicle, therefore the name corococlavicular ligament. So three ligaments are important here: interclavicular ligament, costoclavicular ligament and corococlavicular ligament. Now about clinical anatomy. So fractures are the common pathologies that occur in the clavicle, and the fracture usually occurs at the junction point, that is the medial 2/3 and the lateral 1/3. The union is the weakest point. So at this point the fractures are more common, and it can occur due to direct trauma or injury, as in accidents or contact sports, and falls can also result in fracture. A fall on shoulder or a fall on outstretched hand can result in fracture of the clavicle. Treatment depends on how the fractured segments are aligned after the injury. So if they are in line or they are aligned, then it is treated non-surgically through arm sling, and if the fractured segments are unaligned, then it is treated surgically. Very rarely clavicle can be congenitally absent or imperfectly developed in a disease called as cleidocranial dysostosis. So in this condition, the shoulders droop and can be approximated anteriorly in front of the chest. So friends, this was all about clavicle, and if you have learned something through the video, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.